In the village of Umeus, there were two cousins named Ada and Amora. Ada and Amora weren't just cousins. They were sisters in spirit. Bound by blood, and broken by betrayal between their fathers. Ada's father was the youngest while Amora's father was the eldest. Their fathers were brothers, but that's where the love ended. Chief Obinna, the elder, was a man in his own right, wealthy, calculating, and feared. He owned fish farms, plots of land, and half the town's loyalty. If you needed his help, you had to offer something in return. If you have a daughter, he must spend a night with her to grant you his favor. But if you don't have a daughter, your request would be ignored. The villagers trembled before him. Ugochukwu, Ada's father, was nothing like Chief Obinna, his brother. Ugochukwu was a quiet, honest man with calloused hands and a heart too soft for the world he lived in. A farmer with dreams, not power. One night, he stepped to visit his goat shed and never returned. The next day, they found him, lifeless, swollen, stiff, and ice-cold. Ada's life shattered before she understood how fragile it was while her mother, Ngozi, became a widow in a world that eats the weak. The next day after the burial of Ugochukwu, his brother, Chief Obinna, didn't show up with condolences. He showed up with anger. He took everything his late brother had, including farmland, yam barns, and even their kitchen knives, and left them with only a little plot of land. Ngozi found it hard to feed as the land was not enough to farm. She needed help and went to her late husband's only brother Chief Obinna for help to start up a business. Chief Obinna was happy, filled with satisfaction that his long-time desire was finally being fulfilled. Chief Obinna came up with an unexpected response to grant Ngozi a favor. "Marry me," Chief Obinna ordered, smiling. "And I give you everything you want." Ngozi stared at him in disbelief. Her husband's brother. The same man who stole from her daughter's mouth. She left without a word, crying in pain. She went to the women's community group and borrowed money. With the loan she took from the women's community group, she bought baskets, peppers, ginger, and several other items, and began selling them in her shop. And slowly, life began to breathe again. Until one night, she was robbed and beaten, her wrapper was ripped apart. Her eyes were swollen with tears, bruises covered her body, and a heavy silence settled deep in her chest. That night, she forced herself home, only to find Ada standing outside the hut, anxiously waiting. When Ada saw her mother's torn condition, she broke down in tears. That night, under the weak light of a dying lantern, Ngozi was lost in thought on how to clear off the debt she owed the community, but she didn't have anyone to go to for help. She turned to Ada. Her voice was low and shaky. "Ada, we need to leave this village." Ada shook her head in disagreement. "No, Mama, this is my father's house, and I'm not going anywhere with you," she sobbed. Despite days of trying to persuade Ada to leave, nothing worked. Left with no other option, she found herself begging Chief Obinna again, promising to repay the money once things settled, but Chief Obinna returned that same serpent smile. "Young woman, you know where to find me when you're ready," he said sternly and walked away. Ngozi was broken, she was done. That same day, under the weak light of a dying lantern, she turned to Ada.